Hi, and welcome to this episode of How to Become a YouTuber. If you've gotten this far, you've learned that you too may have the talent. What am I saying? Do have the talent to become a YouTube star. How do I know this? Because I know that you most likely don't have any talent, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to show you some of the formulas that are needed in order to become a YouTuber. See, what you want to do is basically get all the formulas that already exist and work for other YouTubers out there and then get them to work for you. And I will show you that. In fact, even the way that I'm talking, you probably think it's supernatural, but it's not. Actually, I can teach you how to talk exactly like this. See, what you want to do is get them interested and act like you're like acting, but you don't really know how to act. So what you do is just talk in a formulaic way. Those things and a whole lot more. But hey, it's not just me here. It's more than me. It's about you. In fact, I want to bring on one of my favorite guests, someone that you've already met. His name is Ryan, and he is on his way to becoming a huge YouTube star. But he started through this series. Ryan, why don't you say hi to everyone?
Hey everybody, thank you again for having me back on. It's really good to be here.
Great. That's awesome, Ryan. We're so glad to hear it, and so glad you decided to join us again. Hey, since the last time we talked, how's your life changed?
I haven't been doing so good. I've been having a lot of body pains, unexpected body pains. But that being said, I've been posting about it, making videos on my social media, and I've been getting a lot of likes and views, and that's been helping my confidence and my self esteem. And bloop, 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 more money from those sponsors. So,
Well, that's great, and that's great to hear. And I'm so glad. I just hope that all that confidence isn't coming across in those videos. I mean, you really want to like prey upon them, and you want to make sure that they know that you're eliciting pity and that you are getting money because of that pity, and that's how you're becoming successful. And it's so great to hear that then when you thought of me and this show, you thought, in this series, you thought, I know what I can do. I can open this kind of business. And you went ahead and you did it. And did you
mhm.
ever think you would be in the position that you are in today?
No, not at all. I didn't think people would be that stupid to buy into what I was saying, but they did.
Wow, that's great, Ryan. And I bet all the viewers out there just can understand exactly what you're going through because they may have been you a few months ago. And then, you know what? They're going to be you now soon in the
Oh,
future.
absolutely.
So they can connect with you. And that's what this is all about. It's about a connection. Sure, I've never met you. Sure, we're just a camera in here. And sure, you don't have any friends in real life. And that's
None.
okay. In fact, I'm glad we don't have any friends in real life because we can be your friends, right, Ryan?
Absolutely. All I want to do is help and all I want to do is love.
That's right. In fact, I love how you end every session. You always say the same thing at the end. Do you want to tell
Hmm.
our viewers?
Mean the world to me.
That's right. I just want to say thank you so much because we are here for you and we're here so you can learn from us. You just
Uh,
learned the formula of speaking. Ryan, when you first started, how did you talk and how have you evolved to where you talk now, the way that you talk?
well, let's just say if I was having a bad day and I'd make a video about it, I started off very aggressive, very honest. Like, I'm having a bad day, help me out. I can't do this anymore. Blah, blah, blah. But then I followed your tips, I followed your techniques that you gave to me, and I started to make the people in the posts um, make make the viewers guilty for them about my pain, and then in
Wow.
return, they would make me feel better about it. It's
Oh,
almost like virtual gaslighting.
yeah, that's great. I'm so glad to hear it. I'm so glad that you came up with that on your own and that my series in any way, shape, or form could have been an influence on that. Because if you're out there gaslighting people for money, I'm proud to say that if I could be your inspiration for that, there's no better compliment in the world. So thank you.
Thank you. It means the world.
It does. And you know what? We're going to make sure that it means the world to you out there because you are living your probably mundane, pointless, boring life, right? Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I
absolutely.
thought. Right, Ryan? I mean, they're probably, what are their lives probably like?
Spend all day feeling sorry for themselves, not doing anything, not wanting to take initiative to get a job, etc.
Probably live in a chicken coop.
Probably live in a chicken coop.
And probably only friends out there are robins. Like maybe there's just a bunch of like little red birdies flying around and they're like talking to them like they're Snow White. I don't know. I'm just throwing some things out there as if like your lives are your lives and they're probably shitty. And so I'm glad that you're spending the money and clicking the like and subscribe on this series to help us. And so hopefully you'll have a less shitty life because
Absolutely.
it really can't get any worse. I mean, if you're investing in this show. So, what I am here to say is in order to do that, you need to get off your butt right now and you need to turn on that camera and you need to start filming. But what do? I don't know what to do. I've never done anything like this before. I mean, I was in a play in high school once, but I was in the background and oh, it was still so scary being up there. And now I have to talk to the world on the camera. What should I do? Ryan, please enlighten us. What did you decide to do and how did you get there?
I decided that to spread whatever information I had to share was to just share everything. I would film everything, I would take pictures of everything, and I would make it seem like it was the most important thing in the world regarding my life. So I would take pictures of any a sandwich, a soda. I would take a picture of just my face in pain. Anything, anything.
That's great. You know what? I just did a whole series about coconut Dr. Pepper. I mean, you'll have to wait to see how that goes. But you know what? I know it's a big controversy out there whether coconut Dr. Pepper is any good, but I got news for you. You'll have to tune in to find out. See, that's a teaser. And we
Mm-hmm.
have plenty of those. And we teach you the tricks to manipulate people to get them to keep coming back. Because even if people don't like what you have to say in your video, as long as you leave it with a hook and like a cliffhanger, like, who killed JR in Dallas? But in
Mm-hmm.
2024, when it's just on YouTube and you're like, oh my God, why did
Will I
the
be
glue fit
evicted?
the pickle?
Yeah. Will I be evicted? Find out next episode to find out.
That's right. That's right. And in fact, would you tell us a little bit about your story about how you were nearly evicted and how you were lucky enough to exploit people out there to avoid eviction?
Mm-hmm. Well, in reality, I'm just a dumb, lazy person. No rhyme or reason. I have steady income. I'm not gonna deny that. But it came to a point where I hadn't paid 14 years worth of rent. Now, that's not necessarily all on me because the landlord should have said, where's my money after year 5? Didn't have it. Didn't I had it, but I didn't want to give it. So, I decided to, see what was out there in 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 the universe of donations, and I just made a little donation account, and I said, "Look, this is it, guys. It's near November. I'm cold. I'm scared. I have no place to live. Can you please help me out with some money?" And I just made a little video about it. I added some music to it, very sad music. Um, I added funny pictures of myself to say, "Hey, like I'm a good guy. I'm in a bad situation." So I did that, and I ended up making, geez, $6,000 in 2 hours, I think.
What? That's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. All from watching this video?
Mm-hmm.
Was it
That
the
was
inspiration? What came to you to in order to make this happen? Like what was it about what I was saying and about how you could use formulas to like
well.
make really concise videos that will entrap the viewer out there and get them mesmerized in order to follow you and give you money and such?
What I learned from watching your videos was something stuck with me that you said. You said grow flowers out of fire, and by that I mean take a bad situation and make something positive out of it. But don't make it seem like you're in too deep. Make the viewers think that you are.
That's right.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
That's right. You want to manipulate them as much as you can. And I think that's why it's so important when you do these videos. I know, like most good YouTubers out there, will try to target younger people. Why? Because their brains aren't fully developed and you can get them at a young age to
And
watch and
older.
then
I get
click
a lot
like
of
and
older. I get
subscribe.
a lot of. I take it. I get a lot of responses from elderly people. I get a lot of
Really?
responses from
Whoa.
unattractive, overweight women too.
Oh, wow.
Just
Amazing.
like people themselves that need attention. Children, old ladies, unattractive, overweight women. Those are
And
my main
so,
targets. My
and
main
so
targets.
what do you do to engage specifically with those demographics? How do you change who you are on camera and what you're saying and what you're doing and the clothes you're wearing or the clothes you're not wearing in some cases
hmm
in front to get those people to watch?
Well, when I target kids, I usually picture. I mean, like I'll take a picture of like, oh, look at this booger that came out of my nose. Whoa, I might be still sick, and they'll like it, because kids love boogers.
That's
Um,
right. Good job.
elderly people always need help, because they're always like, can you help me with my groceries or turn on my television? So I'll go over there and my neighbor Edna, she's 99 years old and she couldn't turn on her television. So I went over there and I took a picture of the me with the remote and I was like, look, made sure she got to watch Dr. Oz today. Um, I took time out of my busy day. This is what I did. And then
Wow. That
the
is
overweight.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. And when you did that, I know that you brought a dinner over when you
hmm
went and saw this person. Can you
hmm
tell our viewers a little bit about the food that you made?
It was a lasagna.
Oh,
hmm
okay. I thought it was chicken and rice. My mistake. Anyway, go on.
I say, hey, baby, you're looking sexy and all. They're posting pictures, and it makes them feel good. They're like, oh, he wants me, and I don't. But when it comes to a situation where I need money, I'll be like, look, baby, help me out, please. I make them feel like they're part of my life and they're the most important thing in my life. And the our relationship can't continue without a little financial help.
That's great. I mean,
hmm
just to hear that you're exploiting these people in this way, I mean, it warms the heart. At least it
hmm
warms my heart because I know that I've lined your pockets with that money. But anyway, I know that I've done my job and I am there helping you. And so I just want to know, like, as you're doing this and you're going through this, when did you decide, like, how did you learn to edit your videos? How about those amazing, funny, wacky sound effects that you use in your videos?
Well, my videos are all edited by my 6-year-old nephew. He's really good. He's got an iPad, and
Yeah.
he learned himself from YouTube, a YouTube blogger that taught him how to just edit.
Wow. That's great, especially to teach kids to work so young. And I bet it's cheap because if I know you, I know you're getting a larger cut. I mean, you might be wanting to pay a prevailing wage, but because they're so young
hmm
and they're children, and it doesn't matter, like, say, what a babysitter makes and what their prevailing
Right,
wage is.
right.
It doesn't matter in the world. But what matters is that you can use that 6-year-old's labor to your advantage.
Yeah, Because if there's anything I learned from Macaulay Culkin when he was a child actor, I mean, he was making millions every movie. But what does a kid need all that money for? Not they don't. So I keep it for myself.
That and see, that's a good thing. And when he gets older, he won't even care because he'll be like, "Well, I was a 6-year-old with the money. What was I going to do anyway?" So
Mm-hmm.
the fact that Ryan took it is great for him because it helped him.
Mm-hmm.
And at 6, I couldn't have spent those millions of dollars. So at least he got it because I wouldn't have got it because I'm not a 6-year-old business. I don't know enough about business to have a
Right.
business manager.
And I don't live in the state of California, so I'm not gonna fall to the Jackie Coogan Act. You know, I'm not gonna get charged with anything for in child endangerment and labor issues. So I'm not worried about it.
Well, that's great. I'm just glad. So you just travel the country exploiting children, just not in California?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. And it's so great that YouTube is here as a vessel to support that. In fact, there's so many YouTubers out there. I can think of so many off the top of my head that would definitely support that. Because what they're doing out there is they are doing important things in this world. That's right. They're getting and they're playing video games, and then when
Mm-hmm.
that fails, then they do reaction videos and they start doing other things and they start like hanging out with other YouTubers, and then they always
Mm-hmm.
rank stuff. That's the
Mm,
other
yep.
series. I want you to learn because I think you could do so great in those ranking videos. You know those
Oh, I'd
ranking
love
videos
to.
where it's like the top 10 fast food places, and
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter that you're a nobody. What matters is that you're adamant about Zaxby's, or that you're out there and you care so much about kookaroos.
Mm-hmm.
All of those all of those things, and then you go and you rank them. I just think if you went in that direction, that you too could enhance your exposure out there on YouTube, and that's what it's
Oh,
all about.
absolutely. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, that's a very good idea.
would you tell us what your idea of ranking a top 10 video would be? If you could rank top 10 of anything, what would it be, and what would your top 10 be?
I think it would be top 10 places to go, top 10 public places to go to the bathroom.
That's
Top 10
great.
gas stations specifically, gas stations.
Starting with
Because
number
I think it's
10.
important. Number 10, Circle K.
Number 9.
Number 9 would be a mobile.
Number 8.
Number 8 would be a Shell.
And I'm just going to tell you number 7 is Jolly. Number 6.
Number 6, 7-Eleven.
Number 5.
Number 5 would be 7-Eleven.
6. And your
Bucky's.
number one place to go to the bathroom, a gas station is
Bucky's.
Bucky's. Whoa, that's crazy! I can't even believe it was Bucky's. I was like, "Where's Bucky's? Bucky's isn't even in the top 10." If you're in that part of the country, you know what a Bucky's is, and you know it's more than just a gas station experience. It's a whole thing. People down in the South love their Bucky's. And you know what? You really got in there with that. And that
Mm-hmm.
really changed things because people are like, oh, I live in the East, way Northeast. I'll never get down South. But if I ever do, I'll go to a Bucky's. So I'm going to
And
go
take a
ahead and
poop.
click
They have
that
the
like and
cleanest
subscribe.
bathrooms. That's right. That's right. Always hit the like and subscribe.
That's right. So if you did a video like that, and then there are other videos out there like that that you could do, maybe you could team up with other YouTubers. I mean,
Oh,
maybe even
absolutely.
me.
I'd love to. I would love to.
That would be great. I'd love to get together and then we could like determine what is going to go through rock harder. If it's like a thing, a big chunk of paper or a big stone, and then you just
Mm-hmm.
knock it against it, and you spend like
Right.
the whole video doing that, and it's like who's gonna win,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. That's what people want to see these days, and that's where our society is going, and that they watch that in their spare time. And
So, question for you: what can I do to get 10% more likes? I know summertime is coming up. People are going to be outside doing their things. outdoors, away from their phones and their computers, what videos, what posts could I make to get more likes? That's what I want to know.
Well, I mean, the obvious choice would be to take your shirt off because it's hot and you're doing summer activities like swimming or playing basketball or walking or doing
Hmm.
snow angels in the grass or mowing your lawn or,
Hmm.
grilling. But that is the easy way out. What you need to do is to do other things that you would normally do in the summer. Let's say you went swimming, but you always wear a t-shirt, and so what's happening is you're just out there and you're doing your video, but they get a little glimpse.
Hmm.
And in the next video, it's hot and you're drenched in sweat, also wearing a white t-shirt, and they still get a glimpse.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And so, like,
So
you could be doing
over
whatever.
sexualization is what you're saying.
Exactly, but you need to make it not so blatant. Just a
Hmm.
little titillating, if you will.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Hmm. Okay. What
So
about
if
okay?
you can
You're
do
talking
those
about
type of things, and
wet tops. You're talking
yeah,
about wet tops. What about wet bottoms? Would that be an idea?
I think that would be a great idea. In fact, would you please tell everyone that funny story about how you became known as the wet bottom boy?
Well, I was drinking a lot of alcohol, and I couldn't control my bodily fluid, and I peed myself. But instead of everyone catching what I did to myself, I was so inebriated, I tripped and I fell into a pool, and I came out. All my clothes fell off in the pool, and I came out with just my underwear on. And then when I got out of the pool and stood up and was very dizzy, everyone just kept calling me the soggy bottom boy because I was in my soaked underwear.
Wow, that's amazing. And then it caught on. In fact, it morphed. You went from the soggy bottom boy, and then before you knew it, you were just a wet bottom boy.
Mm-hmm.
And that video went, and it is, I mean, can you tell us a little bit about how you were invited to speak in China? I mean, I didn't even know everything's so state controlled there. I didn't even know this
Yeah,
video got there. But you got there and you spoke, and you actually spoke. And because the laws are so kind of lenient there were actually
yeah,
giant pandas on stage with you as you
yeah,
were talking and relaying the story of becoming the soggy bottom boy. And in
yeah.
China, of course, it became known as the wet bottom boy. But if you, because of the translation,
Uh-huh.
but if you could just tell us about that time when you were speaking in China with giant pandas next to you and
Yeah.
what that was like.
Well, I was invited because it was the number one streaming video on TikTok, and I got to speak in front of 50,000 Chinese businessmen, and they put me on stage with two heavily tranquilized pandas. They were heavily tranquilized. They were there, they just weren't coherent. And I spoke to them about how the video changed my life. Um, Not only financially, but I mean, I got all this attention. A lot of it was unwanted, but it was still, I mean, it was a very cool experience. And I'm actually going back next year for the
Oh,
fifth
wow.
anniversary of that video. Yeah, yeah.
That is great. And what an inspirational story for all you out there that think that they might want to go to China to speak to 50,000 Chinese businessmen with heavily tranquilized giant pandas next to them.
Hmm.
Now, when you go there, I mean, how I knew about you wasn't through the viral video, it was actually through this talk in China with the giant pandas. Now, you were chained up like this, your legs spread and your arms spread, chained as you were
Hmm.
speaking.
Yep.
And you were also wearing a lot of leather and chains, which I thought was an unusual choice of wardrobe at the
Hmm.
time. Could you tell us a little bit about that piece and why you decided on the chains and the leather and the fact that you were bound?
Well, when I got to China, what I thought was that they would drape me in a ceremonial robe. I thought, I don't know, but come to find out that was just me being racist and thinking things about Chinese culture. I had no idea, you know, well, what it was. Apparently, it's actually um, it's a tradition to have their guests, specifically American men, be gagged with a ball gag and put in leather dominatrix clothing. Yeah, so they did that. Yeah, and then they said it's a rite of passage to get whipped. So when I was chained up next to the panda bears, a man came wearing a leather mask and he whipped me with a cat and nine tails 15 times.
Whoa. And I think the
So,
craziest part of that whole story, I remember what you told me. You told me a little bit about this story before we went live, and I'll
hmm
never forget the thing that he said to you as he was whipping you with that cat and nine tails. He was just saying, "Love you all," and I thought that
hmm
was a weird thing to say as he was doing that.
hmm yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're a loving culture.
That's great. And I'm so glad you got to share that with the people out there. See, everyone watching this show, travel vlogs are highly successful. That's something that you can do. You just need to make sure if you travel outside the country that you're constantly videoing yourself and seeming self important and also shocked at everything that you see when you're there. Because, like, you want to make sure that everyone thinks that this is the most crazy thing in the whole world. I mean, I've never been, oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this because it's in a different country and this is wild and like I'm experiencing this and you see this. And if you can do that and make them feel like a little more inferior because they'll never go there, but they're like, well, you're kind of, a loser. So the fact that you got there, I'll take that as a win. If you can do something like that, or that's not you in this case because you had it all being chained with leather and whips with giant pandas speaking to 50,000 Chinese businessmen. Not the point of the story. The point of the story is that you overcame and you got to live your dreams. In fact,
Absolutely,
you
just
were
from making
telling me some
videos.
of your dreams. Would you tell like everyone out there what your dreams were and how where you are now adds up?
Well, I've always wanted to help people, and my dream has always been to open up my own business where I drive around, I drop off food to people, I bring elderly people to appointments. Um, I want to wrestle. I want to do all this stuff, and I know I can't reach these goals without making a lot of money and actually working. But my heart's telling me to make videos now, so that's what I do.
That's great. I'm so glad to hear it. And you know what? I bet there's so many people like you out there that are in the exact same boat. I mean, I know a few of you out there. In fact, I know one off the top of my head that's probably in a similar boat to you. And I bet
hmm
if he got to thinking the way that you think, and he watched this series, he too could basically live off of other people without having to do much work, which is the
Oh,
whole
absolutely.
goal of any YouTuber. Am I right? I mean,
Right,
that's why you want to be a YouTuber, right, Ryan?
right.
Yeah,
And
you
I'm
don't
lucky
want to
enough.
work,
No,
right?
I'm lucky enough. I don't. I just film. I make the art
Yeah,
and have my 6-year-old nephew edit it.
that's right. And what's great is not only does he have great sound effects, I heard this one, you were walking and all of a sudden, and he did it. It was almost like marching farts.
That
That was great.
behind the scenes exclusive. That was actually real. That wasn't a sound effect.
Oh, oh,
hmm
my bad. Well, your 6-year-old nephew is still great at editing,
hmm
nonetheless.
He is.
And what you are doing is great. You are able to have enough money to survive without having to work a real job. And that's what I
hmm
want for you out there. I know you don't want to work a real job and contribute to society in any way, shape, or form. Am I right? Yeah, of course. I'm in the same boat. And when I first started, I wasn't contributing at all. Now I'm contributing because I'm helping you to not contribute. So, in a weird way, that is contributing. Even though what I'm saying is we don't want to contribute, I'm still contributing to those who don't want to contribute. So, I have like a loophole and an emotional out there, but all you others are fucked. you're all awful people. That's okay. Some people are good people, some people are awful people. We fall into the awful people silo. And what we can do is use YouTube to exploit that and exploit the good people out there. So if you're watching this series and you're a piece of shit like us, you too can just use our knowledge and become a great YouTuber and make a lot of money until you die and have some fun along the way.
That's right. That's what
In
it's
fact,
about.
Ryan, you were telling me about with your first royalty check, what you did and that crazy time that you had in Vegas. And with all, well, you tell our viewers out there a little bit about that crazy time with that first royalty check you got from being a YouTuber.
Well, that first royalty check I got from YouTube, I actually didn't go to Vegas. I went to the local hardware store and I was picking up lumber, and there was some people there that didn't like the way I was dressed because I dressed like an out of work magician sometimes. And I was called a couple slurs that I will not repeat on this. And I almost got into a fight. And I almost beat them up so bad that they were, they were going to be either in the hospital or the cemetery.
What
And
stopped you?
um, I didn't want to get too hurt where I couldn't take a picture about it. So,
That's great to hear. See,
yep.
when push
But
came to shove,
I decided not to shove. But
good.
I took all my money and I built my chicken coop that I had been wanting to do, because I can't build a chicken coop when I'm working a 9 to 5. I don't have the time.
Nope, you don't. And that's why you need to film every single thing you do. I want you there, whether it's brushing your teeth, whether it's whatever breakfast you make, whether it's
Shaving.
driving in the car, if you have a car. And,
Mm-hmm.
like I know that you can be in the car and you can go on a rant. It doesn't matter. What you need to do is document, document, document. And then you too can be out there and then everyone's watching because you're just producing content. In fact, the term content creator doesn't mean anything because you wouldn't just create content back then a long time ago. You'd be like, well, I'm a content creator. You'd be like, well, what the fuck is that? Like, what content? Like, do you make movies? Do you write scripts? Do you paint pictures? Do you draw? What do you mean what do you mean content? I don't understand. You need to be more specific. But now everyone's just giving up and creating content on camera and putting it on YouTube. So whatever it is, just get it out there. What would you like to get out there, Ryan?
Anything I can. I feel like I have, like I said, I like to exploit the kids, the women, and the elderly. So whatever I'm feeling, whatever is going on in the day, I'll just post about it.
Well, that's great because
Do
all
you
that
have any
matters is
new?
that you post.
I need I need advice on new stuff to post about. Is why I I mean, I feel like I'm milking these three categories. Is there anything else?
Absolutely. If you tune into this series, I can show you how. It's not about just the formula, it's about a whole lot more. It's about growing your business on YouTube. You just start off here, but you want to go here. And how can you do that? It's about creating content, 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 content. I can show you the things to do for that. But in the meantime, what you want to do is just document absolutely every single thing that you do. Put it out there. Get the content out there. It doesn't matter what it looks like or sounds like. Well, actually, it does a little bit. That's why you have a great 6-year-old editor out there that's helping you along the way. See, editing is so important. You need that sound effect at the right time, with that, and the eyes just bulge out, or you just, that type of stuff. See, if that happens, everyone will be engaged because the sound effects happen. You're like, wow, this is real TV, but it's not really. It's like still cable accessy, but it's in 2024. It doesn't matter. You need to get out there. You need to get content. What are some of the things that you love to do? What are some of the videos and types of videos that you want to create? That's what's most important.
Okay, all right. Oh, what kind of videos do I want to make?
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to make videos of, when I'm feeling down, because I know everybody feels down sometimes, so I want them to experience the struggle that I'm having. I want to make videos about the hardships of my life, I want to make videos about my accomplishments. I want to make videos about um my bad days, my good days, anything, because that's all stuff people can relate to.
Yes, that is true. I also think what you need to do is also do silly videos, funny videos, videos that excite the mind. See, Ryan,
So
you
with me with a
are
wig
a
on,
creator.
just something with a wig on.
Yes, a wig would be great. In fact, you could go out in the community with that wig on, and when you have your wig, you're out there in your community and you're saying things like,
Hello.
that's right. Or you might be walking down the street and you bend over and someone sees you and your little butt crack is showing a little bit, and then you look up and you say,
Oopsie.
or then you're just walking down the street some more and then you trip, and just as you trip, your eyes lock with someone else, and then you say,
Ouch. Ooh.
and those are the type of things that you could put on a video. If you put
Mm-hmm.
those things on a video, people would go crazy. They'd be like, that's a crazy video. Oh my God, can you believe that video? That was insane. I can't believe that video.
Okay.
Oh my God. Ah! Remember, they'll just scream a lot. Everyone just scream.
Mm-hmm.
Every video. That's what you
I can
want to
say
do.
that this happened firsthand. This did happen in China. They were screaming a lot. The businessmen
That is
like
great to
that.
hear.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I hope anyone listening out there that is also a piece of shit will go out there and then start to film themselves and film
Mm-hmm.
all sorts of videos. If we can inspire you out there to make millions of dollars exploiting others, well, we've done our jobs. And you know
Yeah.
what? I think, Ryan, if they keep tuning into the series, I think they too can learn how to become a YouTube star.